So I've been going back and forth between the Steam Deck OLED and the Nintendo Switch 2 for a while now. And I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't expect this to be such a tough decision. Now, both are great and they both do different things. But I reached a point where one of them isn't doing as much as I'd like it to do and it has to go. Now, how they feel in the hands. The Steam Deck OLED is big, yeah, but the grips are perfect. It just melts into your hands. I can play for hours without even thinking about it, but the Switch 2 is lighter. It's more portable, a little more flat in shape, so it kind of feels less cramped. It's not uncomfortable, it's just a slimmer design, but I have to say it doesn't feel as natural to hold compared to the Steam Deck. To make them comparable, I had to pair them with the same case, so I'm using the JSAUX mod case on the Steam Deck OLED and the same case from the same brand for the Nintendo Switch 2, which they just released. So they kind of have the same style of grips, but the beefier grip is definitely for the Steam Deck and a more smaller grip would be the Switch. The Switch 2 has a very good screen, it's pretty solid. The Steam Deck OLED screen though, I'll be honest with you guys, it is on a different level. Colors are very beautiful, blacks are deep, brightness looks amazing, and games just feel more alive on it. Especially since I've been pairing both handhelds with the XR glasses I've been using recently from Vitcher. I've recently been using XR glasses to play my handhelds in bed since that's where I find myself enjoying gaming the most, and just having that big screen in the air when playing that is also OLED, it changed the game. So no matter what I use, I'm always gonna have that OLED screen thanks to the XR glasses. So this is not really, oh, the Steam Deck's better because the OLED and the Switch is not better because the LCD, because I have the OLED screen wherever I go thanks to the glasses. But when I use the handhelds by themselves without the glasses, they're both really great. But the OLED pops. Now, when it comes to the games and the library, this is where things started changing for me. On the Switch 2, I've had fun playing, Donkey Kong Bonanza and Mario 3D World and even the new Mario Kart. But eventually, I ran out of things I want to play. And as you can see, my library isn't huge. I'm only playing the newest games and a few old ones, and that's really it. There's no more new games to play. There's just older games or no games. But the Steam Deck, man, the library I've built up since I was a kid to now has grown. I don't have 1,000 games or 300 games. I think I have 90 or 100 games, but that's still a ton of games I can play. Some, mind you, I've never finished, and some I've obviously finished, like the Resident Evil series, Far Cry series, Dying Light series. I finished all of them. Absolutely love those series, but there's a ton I haven't finished, especially Tomb Raider. I still have to get around to playing Tomb Raider because that's one series I have all the games for that I never finished. Have you guys played that? Let me know down below what's your favorite game on the Steam Deck or the Switch 2. But yeah, as I was saying, the Steam Deck library is endless. You've got the new games, you've got old games, you've got the classic, the indie games, the PC titles. You can do mods and sales almost every week. Christmas sale coming up for the Steam Deck very soon, I believe. So expect a video on that because, yo, the Christmas sales, the deals are crazy. I think a game I wanted to play, the new Ninja Gaiden Black game, it's on sale right now. So if you guys been wanting to pick that up, it's on sale. I might pick that up and play it because I love that game, and I actually played Ninja Gaiden on the Switch when it first came out a very long time ago. And I also used to play it on the PS Vita. So I really want to play that because that's supposed to have more graphics and so on and so forth. But yeah, as I was saying, I keep getting sidetracked here. It feels like having the entire history of gaming in my hands because of the Steam Deck's library. Every time I pick it up, I find something to play. Something new, something nostalgic, or just something random I was in the mood to play. Like randomly, I'm like, hey, let me play some Mortal Kombat, and yeah, I have it. And I got it at a good price too. But with the Switch 2, I kinda hit a point where I just get bored. Also, I tried to play that same Mortal Kombat and the Switch, and they never updated it for the Switch 2, so it is a blurry mess. Very disappointed with that. Now, when it comes to the community and just having freedom with the devices, I think the Steam community is honestly the best in the world. If you want fixes or guides or mods or layouts or any type of tweaks, there's always info out there. The Switch 2 community is fine, but you don't get that type of freedom you get with the Steam Deck. Nintendo keeps everything locked down. It's like you buy a Switch, but you're handcuffed to only the Switch. You can't do anything else. But with the Steam Deck, just put it down and do a ton of stuff. if that makes sense. You feel like you're a part of a bigger community with the Steam Deck that loves experimenting and improving things. And I just hate that Nintendo feels locked. It feels like you're chained, you know? Which I don't like. Now, price and value for the devices is the biggest factor when it comes to buying a console or a system in 2025. You know how the economy is. So when you're picking up a device, the price matters. I don't care if it's the best thing in the world. The price will always come down to if you're gonna pick it up or not. The Steam Deck OLED is not specifically cheap. Neither is the Nintendo Switch 2. But for what they offer and for the price, that is where you would make the decision, is it worth picking up these devices? Price of the games have to come in factor. The Steam sales are ridiculous and you can build a crazy library without spending a ton of money. Maybe the same amount of money you spend on one Nintendo Switch game, you can buy a few great games on the Steam store. Nintendo rarely drops the prices for their games, and games stay $60, and unfortunately we're getting to that $70, $80 mark, and I'm not happy about it. I hate having to buy a Switch game for $70 or even $80 when you include tax, because recently, especially with the Donkey Kong Bonanza game, I bought it, I played it, you know, a few levels, I've had a great time, and then I just lost interest just like that. And I rarely just lose interest, so that means the game either was terrible for me or it was a little too repetitive, which I'll be honest with you, every level I go to, if you play Donkey Kong Bonanza, you go through like different levels in the earth or the core or whatever. I feel like it was just getting repetitive, and I was a little disappointed. But unlike Valve, when you buy a game, you actually get about 2 hours, which is very generous, to play the game, see if you like it, and if you don't like it, refund it, get your money back. That is what I love. Nintendo doesn't have it. But as you can see, the deck gives you way more value for your money. Not even the device itself, but the library. We all buy these devices for the games. If the games aren't good or if the games didn't exist, why would we buy these? So games are the real reason you pick a system up. I picked this up to play the new Mario Kart, to hopefully play the new 3D Mario, or to play that new Donkey Kong Bonanza, but I was disappointed. But the Steam Deck, I have all my Steam games I've played since I was a kid up to now. I've built 50 plus games in that library, and I can choose whichever one I want to play it on the deck, wherever I am. That is amazing. I literally remember as a kid being in my car seat, driving, we were on a road trip, and I was like, man, I just wish if I can play more awesome games on this. I was playing the PS Vita, I wish I can play more games on the PS Vita. I wish I can play better games or games that I had on my computer or my PlayStation but on the Vita, but I couldn't. And I actually tried to do those things and I just realized it was never possible. And then now, years later, having something like a Steam Deck to be able to play all those games that I've wished I could have played as a kid, but now I can on the go, yo, that is amazing. It's like the dream came true, and it did. It's honestly amazing. You can't beat the value, especially if you built up that library. But if you built up a multiple Switch game library as well, you can play those games on the Nintendo Switch 2 as well, but not all the games you get on PC you can play on the Switch. So that is the other factor you have to consider when picking up a device. Now, my real life experience has been great. When I think about just relaxing or killing time with a great game, my hand naturally goes to the Steam Deck. Not because the Switch 2 is bad, it's not, but because the deck gives me more to do. More games, more freedom, more comfort, more reasons to just keep using it. I noticed that the Switch 2 started to collect dust. Like, I don't know if you can pick it up in the video, but some dust on it, literally. I'd pick it up and I'd play it for a few minutes and then I'd put it right back down. But the deck, every time I turn it on, I end up playing something for longer than I planned. And that's when I knew. That's when I made the decision. But the answer to the entire video for me is I'm letting go of the Nintendo Switch 2. It's gotta go. But it's not because it's bad, it's not. Nintendo games are fun. The device is solid, but the Steam Deck OLED gives me too much. As I stated earlier, I get better ergonomics, a better screen, a way better library, cheaper games, more community support, more freedom, and more excitement. So yeah, the Switch 2 is good, but the deck is the one that actually keeps me playing and enjoying my gaming sessions more. So the Switch 2 is leaving the setup. Goodbye, Switch 2. I honestly don't think I'll miss it as much as I thought I would. Let me know down below which one you guys are picking up, the Steam Deck OLED or the Nintendo Switch 2. I hope the video was helpful for you guys to figure out which device is right for you, because it's not easy for someone to go and spend $450 to $500 on a device. It takes some time to think about, are you gonna get the most gaming out of it? Because I've realized that a lot of people has been buying the Switch 2 and not using it. So I think making this video will be helpful to a lot of you, and I hope it was. Let me know down below if you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know which one you're gonna pick up. Let me know which one you're rocking right now. And if you guys like videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. It helps the channel tremendously. I'm trying to hit that 20K subs, so let's see if we can hit it. But if you guys enjoyed the video, you know what to do. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.